Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. We are on day 137, and I'll be finishing the story of the preacher of patience. The king awakened, finding all of his ladies gone. He got up, and he could see their trail quite easily. He began to follow it. Here he found a scarf, here a golden ball on the ground, another place an instrument or a tambourine. On he went through the forest. And soon he could detect a voice. As he drew closer, he could hear that it was a man's voice, steady and strong, speaking. He went toward that voice and came into a clearing, seen before him the sage, the hermit, and all of the royal ladies sitting around him and listening. "What is this?" he yelled. "What are you doing? Who is this vile stranger, filthy man who has your attention?" One of the ladies spoke up. "Oh, he's not a filthy man. He is a great sage, and he is sharing with us great wisdom." "Ah, really? What kind of wisdom is he teaching you?" "Well, he is teaching us a path to free us from our sorrows. He's showing us a path to have a steady mind." "Ha! Foolishness this is." "Oh no," another said. "He's teaching us patience. With patience, all sorrow can be left behind," she said. The king drew his sword. "I will show you what patience is." He began to stride toward the sage, who raised his hand, and as he did, he spoke. "Patience, my king. Patience." He looked the king directly in his eyes. The king swung his sword and cut off the fingers of the sage's upraised hand. There was no blood. There was simply a white substance that oozed from the wounds. "Patience, my king," said the sage. "Patience," said the king. "I will show you what patience is, you defiler of royal women. I know your mind. I know your kind." And raising his sword, he brought it down and cut off one of the sage's arms. The sage sat as if nothing had happened. Looking directly at the king, he said, "Oh, king, find your patience." This only made the king even more angry than he already was. And lifting his sword again, he cut off the arm, the other arm of the sage. The sage sat unmoved. Never did he embrace a thought of anger, retribution. Never did he think to utter an angry word. "My dear king," he said, as a parent would speak to his wayward child. "My dear king, patience will free you from all of your sorrows." With this, the king went off. He began to scream at the sage, telling him that he was more powerful than the sage and that patience, he would send the sage to his eternal patience. And we would all see whose power was greater. And with this, the king swung his sword, cutting off the head of the sage. Now we will see who is patient. In fact, we will never utter or hear that word again, said the king. And with that, he kicked the body of the sage over. The body of the sage had been sitting there as if nothing had even happened. The king took a step back. He was laughing. And as he did, the earth opened right beneath his feet. Flames shot out, and the king was gone, swallowed up by the earth for the evil act he had committed. Patience. Perhaps it's true. With patience, all sorrows can be left behind. Okay, that's the story of the Preacher of Patience. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining.